welcome to a new season of Junkyard Joust. I'm Aaron Yonda, and this is the very first qualifier of Season 3. You can see our 5 teams that will be competing here tonight. 2 of these teams will not move on. 3 of them will go on to the Junkyard Joust competition. Let's head into the garage and see who we've got. First up, we've got the One Hit Wonders, sponsored by the Mark W. Filenz Collection. Featuring Cosmic Blues, sponsored by Sloth's Automotive Sachet and Buffet. Twang Thang, sponsored by Tim the Bear Neal. Hip Hop, sponsored by PriceX Private Parts. Classic Rock, sponsored by Woeful Fiber Art. Rockabilly, sponsored by Dion Ice Cream Logue. Ooh, this team looks vicious. They're known as Legionary. With the Hammered Coupe, sponsored by Deluxe Flame. Dual Fueler, sponsored by Sean and Patrick Hogan. Troy Soldier, sponsored by Brendan Walsh. Double Vision, sponsored by Sid from Cybertron. And The Commuter, sponsored by Rhaegal Radio. Next up is a unique team. They're called the Worthington Drabsters, sponsored by the Worthington Library. Featuring the Jocko Liner.
Ooh, that one's cool.
Grams. That thing is heavy. The Fighting Irish. I wonder if that's the skinniest car we've ever had on the show. Flamin' Frank Pedregan's Fiat Coupe. That is not easy to say. The Snake. Oh, that's a lot easier to say. Followed up by the Mongoose. Mongoose and a snake in the same team. Oh boy. Pink Push is back. They got a brand new team.
Ooh,
no
Pink Push
Caddy
back.
This time, instead, they've got the 67 VW 1536, sponsored by Hasty Productions. The Pink Bullet, sponsored by Judy Collins. Diaper Dragger, sponsored by Mr. Stratton.
Diaper Dragger.
Monte Carlo Concept Car, sponsored by
I don't know about that.
And the Manga Tuner, sponsored by Wayland Enterprises International. Winnebago is back.
Wayland Enterprises.
And a more
I know what Wayland Enterprises is.
Featuring, of course, the Winnebago, 163 grams. This thing sponsored by AJ's Performance.
Ooh, the Winnebago looks cool.
And the biggest thing on the track tonight, the MBX Cab Over, 199 grams.
Hey,
And wait a
Jesus.
minute, what is Tim the Toolman doing up in that convertible? Boy, I think he chose the least safe spot on that whole truck. International Durastar Flatbed, sponsored by Stump's Tree Farm. This thing has a ramp. And the 70 Ford F350, sponsored by Winnebago Trauma Clinic. Another ramp, Winnebago getting into ramps apparently. And finally, the VW Transport Crew Cab, sponsored by Emo Dingo. If you've seen Junkyard Joust, you know how this works. Rule number 1, survive. You gotta be right side up.
You know what, let's put...
around in order to move on to the next.
Can I put like a little nightcap on Wany? Hold on.
Sideways or upside down. Those are the rules. Let's joust. Running order is up, and first on the list is...
You know what, I'll put a blanket on him. Hold on.
Challenge here for the One Hit Wonders is to outlive their name. They're going to need to get in multiple hits tonight if they want to stay in this match. You won't see any cars going down the track backwards. That has been ruled out unless there is a special no-holds-barred round that's required in order to get an elimination, perhaps in the finals. The VW Transport Crew Cab knocks Evil Weevil off the track.
The fuck is that? That is not a blanket.
Collision event. I hope you didn't miss that because it was a lot of fun. Cars flying everywhere. About to hit the track is the Mongoose for the Worthington Drabsters.
Oh, we can't... They do have little nightcaps that I can put on him.
And the trailer
Oh, we'll just get him a little blanket for right now.
We've got a brand new rule this season. If a part of your vehicle, could be a trailer, could be a chunk of the car, whatever it is, if it comes off of your car, it's eliminated and doesn't come back, even if your car survives and goes on to the next round. Dual fueler jab.
There we go. Now I'm comfortable and ready to go to sleep.
For the Legionary team, some good undercutting ability on that team. And first up for the Pink Push, it's going to be the tiny Manga Tuner, 31 grams.
This is Junkyard Joust. Do you not watch Junkyard Joust?
Season 3 could potentially be Hip Hop, who couldn't quite make it upright. Just about managed to turn over. It looked like it was going to happen, then it didn't. And now Manga Tuner is in danger. Rockabilly for the One Hit Wonders, going to try to get some revenge. Rockabilly slams
nice.
Manga Tuner, but that car makes a nice recovery. But Rockabilly's got the dual fueler up on the edge of the track, and Mongoose is in a little bit of danger right there. Good hit, and potentially...
You're in bed right now? Good. That's what we're getting ready to do. That's what we're all here for. We're all getting ready to go to bed. It's Saturday night. You should be getting ready to go to bed.
Might have been a bad time to send down a ramp truck, but so far he's okay.
Thinking about swimming, Final Fantasy X, and Ico. I see how those could like those could be like the same thought. Swimming in Final Fantasy X. There's a lot of that going on in Final Fantasy X. And then once you're thinking about Final Fantasy, you're like, oh, I'll just think about Ico too.
But the heaviness of the Jocko liner devastating that flatbed truck, and Winnebago has got to be unhappy about that. Double vision now.
Where's the jousting? It's junkyard jousting, man. It's not normal jousting. You think they could get away with normal jousting on YouTube?
And part of the Jocko liner has broken off. I think that's supposed to happen. I don't know, but it's gone now, and it's not coming back. That will not be put back on that car for the second round if it survives. The 67 VW sort of lightly slams.
Can you guys hear the show okay? I feel like the show might be a little bit quiet.
Very cautious hit, but I guess it did the trick, and that VW is safe up there. Has a very low back, too. Going to be hard to get that car off the track. Here comes Classic Rock, a surprisingly heavy car, 49.
There we go. How about that?
And a nice hit for the one-hit wonders there. Knocks double feature off. Doesn't really do any damage. And now that car is locked into the track. Winnebago's up next for the Warpath. Winnebago's got a couple new things this season. A low sort of scoop on the front designed to go under ramped cars. And a nice little bumper
they're
on the
fancy.
back. A nice big hit there, and Classic Rock is rocked, but not off the track. That didn't feel like
he held on. Look at that twist.
Winnebago, as we're used to, but I think Winnebago,
a true jousting master, knows how to twist his car.
Maybe feeling like all that aggressive behavior in the past hasn't really paid off. And now we've got the Fighting Irish for the Drapsters. Fighting Irish cannot get under Winnebago, so that is working out nicely. Classic Rock is just about sideways. That is not a good position to be in for the one-hit wonders. Winnebago got to be pleased that that back bumper just paid off big time. And now up the commuter for Legionary. 60 grams of car knocks the Fighting Irish right off the track with a nice spinning recovery.
Didn't stand a chance.
Locks it in behind Winnebago. Next up for the push, it's the Monte Carlo concept car. This thing's kind of heavy. And a nice big hit on the commuter. The commuter gets tossed up in the air, upside down, still on the track.
I see what you mean, yeah.
Chance of recovery.
It was muffled a little bit, and it was nice.
One, though, from the Monte Carlo concept car. Here comes Twang Thing for the one-hit wonder.
Hey, Yana.
I guess you'd call
How
that
are
a
you?
good car. And not too bad of a hit there from Twang Thing. Gonna push Commuter off the track. Commuter's probably toast, and now he's locked in on the track. MBX cab.
Oh wow, look at that. That's nuts.
Grams. Look out below. Actually, not that big of a hit. Expected a lot more from a vehicle that big. I think he got a little bit stuck on the back end in between the track, and so his hit was not as big as it could have been. So for now, Tim the Toolman is safe. Here comes Flamin' Frank Pedregan's Fiat Coupe. The coupe scoops under the cab over, and oh man, that is not a good position for that cab over to be in, but the Fiat lost a chunk of itself as it slid underneath. It's kind of a sharp edge on the back of the cab over there. About to hit the track for Legionary.
Ooh, I like that one. That one's cool. I would have liked that one a lot as a kid. Oh my god!
And the cab over
oh my god! Oh man.
Did not fall out of that convertible. He must have his butt glued to the back of the car, and it's not looking good for that cab over. All that weight still couldn't survive that hit from Troy Soldier. Here comes the Pink Bullet. Pink Bullet knocks a couple cars off the track. And
no, I didn't know it was you. You're right. I was like, oh, who's Yana?
Coupe, but Troy Soldier makes a nice recovery. Cosmic Blues is going to hit the track now for the Wonders.
I like Cosmic Blues. That's pretty.
Slams into the back of Pink Bullet. Cannot get anything to happen. The cab over kind of relaxes a little bit more. He's not going anywhere. And now the Warpath is sending down the 74 F350. This thing has a nice ramp on the back. Oh man, a great hit there on Cosmic.
I don't know, maybe.
It looks like he's out. Oh, almost recovered, but no, he's looking pretty sideways
right now.
And now
maybe it's downstairs.
See what happens exactly with that ramp on the back of this truck. It looks pretty deadly. Let's see if the snake can handle it.
I feel like it's downstairs.
And what just happened? It looks to me like the snake actually just sheared off those treads. They're now farther up underneath the Ford, so not much of a ramp truck if your ramp just breaks right off on the first hit. Good job by the snake there taking those out. Here comes the Hammered Coupe.
I recognize your name, don't worry. I do, I know you're Bruce Wayne name.
Off the track. The snake is tossed off the track.
What a mess.
Parts, both of them upside down. That was a nasty hit there. Legionary, very, very excited about the potential of that car. Diaper Dragger now for the push. Diaper Dragger gets underneath the Hammered Coupe but can't get him off the track. That was a good hit though. But Diaper Dragger was the final car for this round, so that's going to be the end to the action. Let's take a look at the mess we've got out on on the track. We're going to end up with 8 cars eliminated in this round. And also, yep, there is the treads from the Ford lying on the track after cleanup. Yep, they were sheared right off. Taking a look at the aftermath, the Worthington Drabsters were hit hard in this round. They lost 3 of their dragsters. One-hit wonders and Winnebago Warpath each lost 2. Legionary
Can't
just
see
lost
everything
the
on the
commuter,
TV.
and Pink
Hold on.
Push coming out
See
of
if I
this
can fix
round
that.
looking very good without a single loss. And they're going to start us off in round 2 with the VW 1500. Story of this match
Is
so
that
far,
better?
the Worthington
That's better.
Drabsters got some great
You
undercutting
can't really.
ability,
You can
but
kind of see
not
some
too
stuff under the
stable on
thing.
track. 3 losses is going to be rough for them, but it was pretty impressive when they sheared off the back of that Ford. And
So that's about as small as I can make it.
Here comes the hammered coupe now for Legionary. Hammered coupe just annihilates the VW, and that could definitely be the first elimination for the Pink Push. That car
You're constantly
is just a beast, and I don't
rebranding
think the
yourself,
VW is gonna
KZ.
be coming back from that hit.
What good
And
does
now
that
it's
do you?
Winnebago. I think Winnebago wants a piece of that hammered coupe. Maybe that
Ooh, here comes back the
low attachment on the front
Winnebago.
of the vehicle will do something.
Oh!
And no, it doesn't. It sends Evil Weevil off the track, but instead of taking out the hammered coupe, Winnebago bounces back and gets tossed off the edge in a really precarious position. That is not where
That's
Winnebago
awful.
wants
That
to be
thing's
right
not gonna
now.
last.
Twang Thang's got an opportunity. And Twang Thang
And it's
takes
gone.
the opportunity. Twang, bang, and thang you, ma'am. That vehicle is gone. Winnebago, a rough hit right there. Winnebago Warpath came into this match with a plan, and I'm sorry to say that plan is not going well right now. Next up, the Fighting Irish. Fighting Irish gets underneath Twang Thang, and Twang Thang now upside down and pretty much done on the side of the track. Great hit. Drabsters
Now, this is
are
a good
really
Final
good at
Fantasy
those kind of
character.
hits. Now, if you can
He's
just
like a
stay on the
legitimately
track,
good
Monte Carlo
protagonist.
concept car is going to take a shot. Monte Carlo, oh man, almost got the Fighting Irish upside
Ooh.
down, but he made a great recovery. And look at this. The concept
Right
car
over
goes
him.
flying off the back of the hammered coupe. Ends up upside down at the front of the track. That hammered coupe is a double
Your greatest
threat.
fear
Almost
is
got a little bit of
identity
a ramp
theft.
going. Let's see if Troy Soldier can deal
I've
with
had,
it.
I've been
Troy Soldier, an amazing hit, but it
the victim of
doesn't work
identity
out. He
threat-
goes
of
off
theft
the back
before.
of the coupe and ends up upside down after multiple flips over on the left. And
It's
the
not
coupe
fun.
almost comes out, but then somehow he slides back into position on the track. And now the VW Transport crew cab's going to take a shot without that trailer. The crew cab goes right off the back of the coupe into the crates and sideways. And the coupe, however, was actually tossed off the track. So that did work out, but at the cost of that crew cab being probably eliminated. Rockabilly
Well, I like
now
the
for the
teeth
Wonders.
look on the front of the Rockabilly.
Rockabilly hits the
Oh
safety
my
bar at the
God.
end of the track 'cause there's no cars
Oh
left.
my
They've
God.
all been taken off the track, and that's just not a good thing to do, unfortunately. And Rockabilly is tossed unceremoniously up in the air, upside down, and off the track. Now the Jocko liner for the Drabsters has to do that same thing. And the Jocko liner handles it a lot better. All that weight proving to be an asset, and he stays very stable on the track, even with part of his car missing. He's moved back a little ways on the track, so it could be a right target for the diaper dragger. Let's see what happens.
And there he goes.
Does indeed take out the Jocko liner, and the Jocko liner goes twirling all over, flips upside down. That was a nice hit by that diaper dragger. That car is a little bit of a menace, actually. And now Double Vision's going to take a shot at the dragger. A nice cut there underneath the diaper dragger, but he
Like
can't
a
take
bar
him
of
out.
soap,
Diaper dragger
for
makes
real.
a great recovery, and so does Double Vision after hitting that safety bar up at the front of the track. Those two cars are good to go. And right now we're looking at Winnebago Warpath's last hope in this match, the 74 F350. He's got to take a run straight in that safety bar, and he manages it fairly well. Does a little bouncing, but manages to let right side up on his teammate.
Ooh, I used to
Winnebago.
love when my
That
Hot
doesn't look like a
Wheels,
super
like
safe
the little
spot, but we'll
flip on
see
the
what
front of them would
happens.
come up
When
and you could see the
Classic
engine.
Rock takes a
That was
hit.
always the
49
best part,
grams
man.
of
That was
car right here could be
that was
a
my
heavy
favorite
one.
stuff.
And it was a big hit on the
You're not
Ford,
drunk enough for
upside
this?
down. If he doesn't come back from that, Winnebago
What's wrong?
is
You don't
out
watch
of
Junkyard
this
Joust?
match. The Warpath made a bunch of mistakes in this round, and if they can't get a recovery, they're not even going to qualify and move on to the Junkyard Joust. Pink Bullet And Pink Bullet, just like that, rock and
The guy who
roll
runs this channel
dead.
is coming on the
Rock
show
flipping
tomorrow.
upside down on top of Jocko over there and landing almost sideways on the edge of the track, but basically surviving that hit. Here comes dual Fueler now for Legionary. Fueler slams into
nice.
that safety bar and goes almost all the way back up the track. It was a solid recovery. Could have been bad, but a very stable car there. Got those big tires in the back and straddles the track very successfully. Here comes the Manga Tuner for Pink Push. Manga Tuner can't do anything to the Fueler.
Never heard of it.
On the track
It's a relatively small
and that
channel.
is going to be the final car for this round, and I got bad news for the Wonders and for Winnebago. They have no cars left.
This just seems like such a passion project for him. I'm really excited to talk to him
Legionary
about
got 3 left. Pink Push still have 3 left, and the Drabsters squeak by.
Yeah, this
with
is
the
a lot
Fighting
like
Irish,
Marble
the
Olympics.
only surviving dragster of this match. All 3 of these teams are going to move on to the main event. Congrats to our 3 qualifiers. We've got some interesting cars on these teams to keep an eye on. I don't know what happened with Winnebago Warpath. Looks like they didn't even show up. What the? Okay. Looks like we might have a sore loser right here. Unfortunately, Tim the Toolman bearing the brunt of this little stunt. Oh man, the cab over just breaks apart. Tim goes flying up into the air. Looks like he made it all the way to 11.
Audio
and now
Jungle.
He's gonna have to make his way to a hospital. Thanks for joining us tonight on
Audio
Junkyard
Jungle.
Joust. We've got a few sponsorships left over at the Junkyard Joust Patreon, so become a patron now if you want to sponsor a car this season. And coming up, we'll have
See
more
you later,
head-on
man.
and more
Have some good
qualifiers.
sleep.
Stay
That's what
tuned.
we're all
Thanks
doing
for
here. We're just here to talk before we go to sleep. It's real close to time to go to sleep, so we're just all getting ready. I'm watching a little bit of Junkyard Joust. Doing season 3.
25 cars enter, but 10 of them will never come back.
I'm so tired.
Welcome to the second qualifier of Season 3 of Junkyard Joust. I'm Aaron Yonda. 5 teams here, 2 of which you might remember. Aqua Turks from Season 1 and Mandalorian
I'm cool.
Iron from Season
Oh my
Star
God.
Wars. I guess that was
I
just
didn't
more
know.
a special series than an actual season. Let's take a look at our teams. The Mandalorian is back with Mandalorian Iron and a whole new team, except for himself, of course. The Mandalorian, sponsored by Sloth's Automotive Sachet and Buffet. The Child, sponsored by Woeful Fiber Art. The Yo Dasher, sponsored
Oh my
by
God.
Johnson's Leprechauns. Looks a little cobbled together, but 81 grams. Man, I've never seen a baby pod that heavy before. Should be a menace on the track. Next up is the Land Speeder. And the final member of this team, the 34 Chrysler Airflow. Propulsion.
Oh yeah,
Now
he's got a
team with
great
couple of
like
undercutters,
sports
a couple of
narration
ramps.
voice.
Should be interesting. Pedal to Metal, sponsored by Deluxe Flame. Turbo Flame, sponsored by PriceX Private Parts. Tricera Truck, sponsored by Hendrika's Heavy Hauling. Thunderstreak, sponsored by Sid from Cybertron. And Too Cool, sponsored by Raygull Radio. Time to get some Lamborghinis in our lives with Lambo
Ooh,
number 5,
Lamborghinis.
featuring the Murcielago LP674 SV, sponsored by Judy Collins. The Lamborghini Veneno, sponsored by Ellie's Hop Shop. The Aventador LP704, sponsored
Y'all
by
like Hall
Greenborg
and Oates.
Smorgasbord. The Aventador J, sponsored by Hey Hey's Hatchback Hanger. And the Huracan LP620, sponsored by Jedi. Next up is Lokiverse, a team made up of various versions of supervillains. First up, of course, is Loki, sponsored by Liz's Wizard Arts and Witchcrafts. Bully Goat Red Skull, sponsored by Wayland Enterprises International. Ultron, sponsored by Mr. Stratholm. Scupa de Fuego Loki, sponsored by Ellis Wurtenberger. And another version of Red Skull. The Aqua Turks are back with a brand new team, one of which appears to have wings. It's Eruption, sponsored by TJGI. The Buick Wildcat, sponsored by Chome. Devancinator, sponsored by Stump's Tree Farm. 71 Buick
Stump's
Riviera,
Tree
sponsored
Farm.
by Winnebago Trauma Clinic. And the 80 Chevy El Camino, sponsored by Emo Dingo. The rules are simple. Survive. Every car has to drive down the track, smash into the rest of the cars, and if they end up upside down or sideways at the end of a round, they are eliminated. Any cars that are right side up at the end of the round move on to the next round. In the qualifier, the match ends when 2 teams have lost all their cars, and the remaining 3 teams move on.
Okay.
The running order is up. Let's joust. We're going to start off with Mandalorian Iron.
Found you on a 4chan thread and recognized you from some interviews.
Got a nice low
really?
back. I think they're hoping to set up a little bit of a ramp down there at the end of the track. That's probably why they're sending this car down first.
I think you were a little out of touch. Me? No, never.
Head-on collisions.
I'm an old man. Of course I'm out of touch.
For the AquaTurks, the Buick Riviera. Buick Riviera does not take the invitation to go off the back of that car like it's a ramp, and it locks it in on the track. A nice hit.
You're out of time, finally.
AquaTurks were around back in Season 1 of Junkyard Joust. Nice to see them back again in the competition.
Get BTFO.
Now up for the Loki verse, it's Red Skull.
Oh,
the Red Skulls, there's multiples. This Red Skull, oh man, it hits the back of that Chrysler and just pops off the track upside down. Yikes. You'd expect a supervillain to do a little bit better than that. Lambo number 5 is going to send down their first Lambo, the Aventador J. The Aventador wrestles that Buick off the back of the Chrysler.
The OP said they were you. Not sure if that was true or not. Really?
Right there for Lambo number 5. The Aventador is now curbside.
It really depends. I mean, it could have been
on what Pedal to Metal gets up to for propulsion.
I post on 4chan.
Pedal to Metal slams into the back of that Aventador, but he makes a nice recovery. Back to being right side up. Pretty safe over there. And Pedal to Metal almost loses the front cover of the car. I don't know if you can see it, but it appears that there are 2 guys pedaling that car. It's actually more of a bicycle car.
What board was it?
You're not going to want to lose that cover. It's the only thing between them and all the cars that are coming down the track. Here comes the Mandalorian now.
I mostly just use TG.
If you saw the special Star Wars Junkyard Joust in the winter, you saw the Mandalorian team. They did all right. They didn't do great, but they got some new vehicles now, and I think they got a better chance. The Mandalorian takes out that cover off the Pedal to Metal.
Was it you, Brenzolanes? Did you post me on 4chan?
They're not going to have that cover next round if they happen to survive this round. And
did you go claiming to be Wany on the internet? You wouldn't do that. You wouldn't go on the internet and lie, would you?
It's kind of a wild-looking car. It's got a nice low chassis, though. Could be helpful. And a nice takedown there. Mandalorian and Pedal to Metal both knocked off the track. Pedal to Metal, though, not necessarily. Oh, yep, actually went back sideways and almost got back together with the cover of the car. But that's not looking good for Pedal to Metal. Great hit by the El Camino. Might have just taken out 2 competitors with that one. Ultron is up next for the Loki verse, and look at this. Tim the Toolman deciding to take a ride.
I posted We Watch Anything on TV like a couple of days ago.
Very nice, couple of 360s there, and he lands on his feet and then gets crushed by the top of Pedal to Metal speed. So pretty much par for the course for Tim. I'm starting to get the feeling he's just waiting up at the top of the hill and climbing into vehicles right before they go down.
What are you doing,
something.
Kira?
I don't even know if those teams want him in their cars. Though he doesn't seem to have done any harm here. Ultron down at the end looking good. Aventador LP now is up for Lambo number 5. The Aventador slides
with my neck size, you know I'm into
into
choking. I don't really have a choice. The women see this neck and they immediately want to strangle it with their hands.
So far. And now Propulsion's going to send down Too Cool.
Oh, Too Cool looks so cool.
That big thing. Ooh, the big front end of Too Cool knocks that Camino finally off the track. The Camino takes a bad bounce and goes upside down. It's probably going to do it for him, but that Aventador is not going anywhere. He's staying sideways on the track, and now it looks like we might have sort of a ramp set up.
You wouldn't do that, Casey. You wouldn't call my wife stinky.
Too Cool right now, Mandalorian Iron.
little
and the
stinky.
land speeder, wow, that was anticlimactic. Just sort of taps the back of Too Cool, does not go off the back of him. And it looks like he's maybe a little bit too big for the track. I thought the land speeder was going to hover above the track and crash into cars that way, but it doesn't look like that's working out. And so he just barely makes it down the track. Not a super good showing right there. Now the Devancinator is going to take to the track for AquaTurks. Devancinator sends the land speeder over the back of Too
What a
Cool.
smash. Look at that. There goes the land speeder, dude.
Do for itself. And Devancinator almost goes off the back of Too Cool.
That land speeder,
quite make it.
like, stood no chance, though. I remember having it as a kid, and that land speeder was light.
So not much damage there from Devancinator, but a good hit nonetheless. And now here comes Loki for Loki.
I bet Loki does pretty good.
Loki headbutts Devancinator, but can't get him off the track.
Ooh.
Little bit of action there, but he can't move him. He's, you know, curbside. So there could be some trouble next time. But
Indeed.
Another great recovery by Devancinator.
This is a nice, comfy stream. You wouldn't say.
The peril of Loki. Lambo number 5 is going to send down the Murcielago
I'd never do
LP
that. I'd never do a
674
fancy
SB.
little comfy stream. None of my streams are comfortable. It's not a thing that I like to associate with my brand.
Able to get him out of this one. He lands right on top of his own
Honestly, I
horns,
just
and
try to
looks
go
like the
for
Vancinator made a great escape there,
a lot of
recovering
cocaine,
from that hit nicely. Next
a lot
up,
of
we've
Red
got
Bull,
the Tricera truck
a lot of energy
propulsion.
drinks,
Tricera truck clobbers the
EDM music.
Murcielago,
I'm
knocks him
known
off
for
of the back
EDM
of Too
music.
Cool, and Murcielago
And,
cannot make a recovery. Too vicious of a
Just
hit
being
by the
loud
Tricera
and
truck.
obnoxious.
Now up for
I'm
the
kind
iron
of
is the
known
Child.
for being loud and
The
obnoxious.
Child slams into Tricera
You can
truck
ask
and very gently nudges,
a couple
I
of
would say,
people here.
Morgan
I'm sure
slams
somebody
actually.
here
Tricera truck
can vouch
is
for me being
really
loud and
sideways.
obnoxious.
I think that would count as right side up if he stays like that. The Child right now in peril. We've seen the Child escape peril.
I thought
Usually
the
he goes
Child
the
was
Mandalorian's
going
out,
to
but
be
the
like
Mandalorian is
named
already
after
upside
like
down and
Cell
out.
or
So there might be a
something,
little
just
extra
based on
danger to
its
the Child here
design.
from
It looked like a
Eruption for Aquaterra.
Dragon Ball car.
Eruption with
Oh
the wings of
my
glory. The
God,
Child goes
look at
spinning
that.
upside down, bonks his head, and lands
Ruined,
on
dude.
his face.
Absolutely
Not
ruined.
A good situation for the Child. Good hit by Eruption. Now Eruption poised on the back of that ramp. Too Cool's ramp
There goes the
might
champ.
not be something that all cars go off of right away, but it has been proving to be pretty devastating
Hello,
for
Zoot.
some of these cars.
Welcome to
Red
the
Skull's
stream.
Up now for Lokiverse.
I am a purple
This
guy,
Red
as you can
Skull
see.
does some serious damage. Eruption goes flying, but the wings don't help him fly, and he lands upside down and stays upside down. Might be that those wings didn't really help anything at all. A solid hit by the Red Skull. The Hurricane
Wow.
LP622 Super Trofeo is up now for Lambo number 5. The Trofeo.
Oh,
man,
my
it takes Red Skull
God.
out, but then
Ruining
bounces
yourself
off the back
in the
of Too Cool
process.
and flops off the track upside down. So what was a good hit turns into kind of mixed results for Lambo number 5. Propulsion's going to send down Turbo Flame. This car looks vicious. Turbo Flame goes flying off the back of his own teammate, hits the crates, and makes an
Reject
amazing
EDM,
recovery,
embrace
sliding
New
back along
Wave.
the
You know,
track.
I'm a
Can't
big
quite get
fan
all the way
of
off the track,
Vaporwave.
which could become a
I'm
liability, but a
I'm
great
really
recovery
into
there
how
off of his own
relaxing
teammate
it is
now,
as a genre.
potentially
Like
becoming a
Vaporwave and
liability for
Synthwave,
propulsion.
all those
And now here
waves.
comes 81 grams
Really
of
into
the
it,
Yo
man. It's
Dasher.
really,
Gonna be a big
really
hit.
relaxing.
Ooh, the Yo Dasher piles into Thunderstreak, sends Thunderstreak off over to the tires, but a great recovery there, and then comes back off the crates and punches Too Cool way back down the track. Just uses that weight to force him back. I don't know if this is going to be a better position for Too Cool to be in. Looks like the Buick
I like this
Wildcat's
music
gonna
in the
be first
background.
one
It
to
kinda
test
sounds
out this new
nice.
position for the
The guitar's got a good
the
tone.
Wildcat goes all the way
Really
off
beefy,
the back
really
and
chunky
all the way
tone.
down the track, slams into Yo Dasher and ends up upside down. That was a disastrous run for the Buick, and now Too Cool's back down at the end. I think that car's proving to be a reasonably good ramp car, even if it's a little bit unstable when there's a heavier vehicle.
I like
around.
your
Here
base,
comes
your
Scuba
background
de
kind of
Fuego
goes
Loki
to look
for
like a
the
racetrack
Lokiverse.
a bit too.
Scuba
The,
skirts back of Too
the
Cool
background
and actually
was
starts to push
just
Too
supposed to
Cool up
be,
a little bit. Doesn't quite go off the back
like,
of him, and
very
this might be the end
uplifting
of
and
that
happy
ramp. A great
looking.
hit there by this alternate version of Loki.
It's got like a little, it's got a little thing going in the back. It's got a little animation. It's hidden by the TV though.
Benino with a nice low front manages to get that ramp off the track and also manages to get that Loki off the track upside down. And unfortunately, again, Lambo number 5 with another vehicle that does some great damage but then goes upside down itself. So it's not really helping their team that much. And the final car of this round is going to be Thunderstreak for propulsion.
Come on, Thunderstreak. Let's see what he can do.
And the undercutter
Oh,
doesn't do a whole lot of damage, although, wait a minute, look at the Yo Dasher. If I'm not mistaken, I think we just saw the Yo Dasher go sideways enough to be eliminated. So a devastating hit there from propulsion. And out of 25 cars that entered this round, there are only 9 left.
wow.
And amazingly enough, all 5 teams still have entrants in this match. Looking at propulsion right now, wow. 4 cars left, and they are doing really nice for themselves. Lambo number 5 doing okay with 2 left right now.
Yeah, I really
and
like New Wave.
Aquaterra's
New
Mandalorian
Wave
and
was,
Lokiverse each
New
just
Wave
have
was different.
1 left apiece. Those teams are going to have to do something pretty amazing right here to stay in this match. Propulsion are going to start us off in round 2 with Too Cool. Makes sense. That thing did some good damage last time. Propulsion wanted to see if it can do some more.
I was never really into
Depeche
Mode,
though.
though.
The only problem here is it could also do damage to their own team.
I did kind of like Genesis, though, when I was in high school.
And they could end their own car if they chose to do that.
That was like the big two, like not EDM, but that was like the two electronic bands that people listened to at my high school. Was either you were a Depeche Mode fan or you were a Genesis fan, which is weird because I feel like they didn't really have much like in common.
Really going to help their team stay in this qualifier.
I don't know.
The last hope for Mandalorian.
Like, surely there was a better alternative Depeche Mode than Genesis, right?
That's a pretty crap strategy if you ask me, but I guess it worked to keep him in the last round. Let's see if it works again. Aquaturk's got one left.
Yeah, well, if New Wave's so great, where's New Wave 2? That's what I want to know.
Devancinator annihilates the Land Speeder, and I have to say I'm honestly kind of glad that Land Speeder was a big disappointment, and Devancinator was not interested in seeing it stick around.
Some guy was giving a Depeche Mode CD away at the drive-in.
Out of this unless that vehicle gets righted
really
over there on top of the Aventador.
I wonder what he was trying to do. Do you think he was trying to get more people in Depeche Mode? He was trying to find friends. He just wanted to. He just wanted to like find some more people to talk about Depeche Mode with. Man, it was his favorite band.
Ultron manages to stay upright. Gonna have to call him the lucky verse right now because if Ultron had gone over, their team could have been out of this as well.
Disco 2, Electric Boogaloo, Return to Africa.
On the track like that. Propulsion's now gonna send down Thunderstreak. It's time for some undercutting. Thunderstreak takes out his own teammate. They've got a way to take out their own ramp. Man, that is nasty. They push him off the track. Could have tried to keep him right side up, but no.
We're watching Junkyard Joust.
That's kind of rough, but I kind of see why they did it. And here comes the other Aventador for Lambo number 5.
It's like the perfect thing to watch if you're going to sleep.
Alive. They still got 2 in this. It's looking good for them right now. There's just a couple more propulsions that got to come down, and it's looking like we might know who our finalists are after Ultron makes that narrow escape. Turbo Flame for propulsion. Turbo Flame tries to take out the Aventador, and it makes a great recovery. Flips over and lands right side up, and Thunderstreak makes
what a smash, though.
There too, showing
didn't get any cars out, but still.
Not a whole lot to prove here for Triceratruck, but it's good to go down, get some experience, and get a feel for the track. And Triceratruck puts Turbo Flame to the test. Turbo Flame with a great recovery right there. And
I feel like Disco 2 has kind of already started. I feel like the internet is starting to like really get into the sounds that Disco had.
So the 2 returning teams, Mandalorian Iron and Aquaturks, have been eliminated from this qualifier.
Well,
they are going to have to go back to
Propulsion
the
is
drawing
doing so
board.
much
Meanwhile,
better than
these
everybody
3
else.
teams are going to go on to the main Junkyard Joust event. Now that they've got this qualifier under their belts, they can take what they learned and go back and come up with some new strategies, try to do even better in the main event. Don't forget, Junkyard Joust has a Discord. There's a link in the description. We're also doing some friendly betting on these qualifiers. You can get more information on that in the description.
That's okay, man. I'm a musician. I love nerding out about music stuff.
If you get a chance, maybe who you think is going to do well this season.
I just don't cover albums on the channel right now.
This has been Aaron Yonda, and I'll see you next time.
Shoutouts to Aaron Yonda for coming on the show tomorrow. It makes your day better when I stream. It doesn't make your day better. You made your day better by being happy about something.
Welcome to the 3rd qualifier of Season 3 of Junkyard
What is Morbius?
Joust. Hi, everybody. I'm Aaron Yonda.
I obviously
5
haven't
teams are
seen
competing
it.
tonight. 3 of them will move on to the Junkyard Joust event. Lots of new vehicles here and just a couple familiar ones. Let's take a look at our teams. First up is Wolby's Wreckers, an X-Men themed team, led of course by Wolverine, or multiple Wolverines. And here's the first Wolverine, sponsored by
Wow,
Fox
look at that. That
Automotive
looks so
Sachet
cool.
Buffet. And here is the Wolverine Majorette version, sponsored by Tim the Bear Neal. Next up is the Chrysler Atlantic and the 71 Plymouth Satellite, sponsored by Sean and Patrick Hogan. And lastly, the 69 Nissan Skyline van. Next up, it's the Bonsai Boys. They're ready to
Oh, look
ride
at that
over
one.
their
It's got a dude
opponents
on the
like
top.
a wave. Here's the leader of the team, the Bonsai Boys, sponsored by Hendrika's Heavy Hauling. Surf's Up, sponsored by
Oh, that's so cool.
The 64 Oldsmobile Vista Cruiser, Surfboarder, sponsored by Sid from Cybertron, and Backdraft, sponsored by Raygull Radio. Sugar Crash won the Battle of the Losers, reformed their team.
His nostalgia is still here as long as I'm around and I say anything about it. You got, I mean, you've obviously got the right idea.
The other new member of the team, Baby Ruth, sponsored by Hey Hey's Hatchback Hangar.
Who am I to tell you that you're wrong?
It's Chunky.
You're the master of your own fate.
Sponsored by
Bring the 80s and the 70s back.
Crunch, sponsored by Brendan Walsh. The Red Shells, it's Mario and gang, and they have gliders above all of their vehicles. Those could be interesting on the track. Featuring Bowser, sponsored by Liz's Wizard Arts and Witchcraft.
I'm rooting for the orange guy.
Mario,
I'm rooting for the purple guys, personally, but, you know,
and
I'm a little bit biased.
Sponsored by Hey Steve Productions. And lastly, the Big Shots. This team looks ready to
Morbius is that movie based off the Spider-Man villain. He's a doctor who becomes a vampire while trying to find a cure for his disease.
The Z-Rod, sponsored by
No, I didn't even know that existed.
And Clip Rod, sponsored by Emo Dingo. The rules are simple. Survive. Every car has to drive down the track, smash into the rest of the cars.
I like your way of looking at it, Zoo. Back in my day, these were really cool, and since I'm still alive, it's still my day. That's a positive way to look at it. We want to have positive outlooks tonight. It's getting sleepy time. We want to have positive little thoughts to keep our brains occupied from the big scary no-nos.
Gravity should be a good performer for this team. It's kind of appropriate that Bullet Bill is on the Big Shots team taking on the Red Shells. And speaking of them, Mario is going to start us off. Now, Mario's an interesting vehicle here. A lot of the Red Shells team have some sort of an apparatus.
If you could critique the nostalgia, if I were a sort of critic of nostalgic media, if there was just some way, some YouTuber has to do it, who would take up the mantle of the nostalgic reviewer? That's what they would call him. They would call him the nostalgic reviewer, this man who doesn't exist.
Flips over. I think the claws retracted, and unfortunately he flipped right upside down. Bad start there for Wolvie's Wreckers. It looks like
it's not racist to think that I'm better for being purple. I just am better for being purple. You try being purple for a single day and see how much you like it. You'll love it. You'll never want to go back, I promise.
Railing up front, and there was no buffer there, so he goes flying backwards, almost sideways, but manages to stay curbside. That is still not a good position to be in. Hershey's learning the hard way what it means when you hit that safety rail with no buffer. Evil Weevil
that looked
is
bad,
there for a
man.
reason.
That looked real bad.
Backdraft is going down first for the Bonsai Boys, and it looks like Tim wants in on some of that action. Bonsai indeed.
Look at him come.
Ooh,
oh!
Tim does not manage to stay seated. Flips right out of the car.
Nice
and
flip,
lands,
Tim.
Unfortunately, on the track, right in front of Backdraft.
Son, where'd you find this?
It's not going to be
Zoot,
a good
thank you for
situation
following.
for him to be in when this next car comes down.
Welcome to
Bullet
I'll
Bill's
Review
gonna get a
Anything.
chance to pulverize Tim the Tool Man for the Big Shots. Heavy hit, and Tim the Tool Man goes catapulting off the track, over and over off to the left, landing on his face in the dirt. I don't know why he does
Is this the new Sleepy Cast because it's sleepy time?
Stay on the track, and they are nicely locked in.
It could be.
Now Yoshi's up for the
What are we
Red
casting,
Shells. Let's see if his
though?
glider helps him survive this hit. Yoshi
We're casting out our dream catchers to catch beautiful dreams for our night's rest tonight.
Backwards on his
It's the
back.
sleepy
now,
dream
that's questionable
cast.
whether or not that is considered survival to the next round. We're gonna have to leave that up to the officials if he stays in that position. Bullet Bill, on the other hand, is now sideways and is in trouble. Next up for the Wreckers, it is the 71 Plymouth Satellite. Let's see if this thing can do a little bit better than its captain, Wolverine. And a nice hit
Really,
there.
I feel kind of different about the
almost
nostalgic
pushed off the track.
man.
Nice heavy
I think
hit,
that
and somehow Bullet Bill just stayed there.
I think he's
It's
kind
like
of
the car
making
didn't
better
even hit him
content
or
now
something.
than he was.
Sugar Crash is going to send down
He's
the
less
Raisinette,
relevant,
89
sure, but his
grams.
content
It's
has
gonna be
gotten
a big
better.
one. Raisinette
all he'll have to do is make something really good to be, relevant again. And in my opinion, he just needs to work. He just needs to keep doing what he's doing. Keep grinding it out, Mr. Critic. You'll make something fantastic, and then everybody will love you.
The Bonsai boys are going to
You still haven't made your masterpiece, Mr. Critic. Keep working.
An incredible slam in the back of Raisinets, and somehow
Mr. Walker.
38-gram car
Doug.
has just
Can I call you Doug?
Raisinets, knocked him off the track completely. That is a big vehicle.
Do you take requests on reviews? Of course I do. All the time. It's constant. You can send them to me at I'llReviewAnythingOfficial@gmail.com.
Cliprod is up now for the big shot.
I even get requests from people who make their own games and stuff now. I get all sorts of requests, man. I don't do albums yet, and I don't do books. That's like the only two things that I don't do right now.
And here comes Luigi for the red
We're casting good vibes. Oh, I like that. I like that a lot. We're casting good vibes.
The two smiling clouds doing nothing to prevent his demise, and he is face forward upside down.
Is that something we can make a permanent thing for the streams? Can we always just cast out good vibes? I think we could do that. I think we could do that together. You and me.
From Luigi, Mario looking on over by the crates with disgust.
Look at that pile up,
man. This is the majorette version.
Oh, this Wolverine's gonna do damage. Watch this.
In the front. Let's see if it does any better.
Oh, nothing. I'm terrible at this, man. I can never tell when one's going to do a lot of damage or when it's going to be really, really cool. I get excited easily, though. That's really all it takes, right? I think that's all I have to do is just get excited.
Nice hit there by Baby
What
Ruth,
does it do?
And the Majorette Wolverine manages to make a recovery. Backing off the track just a little bit.
Do you want me to mute my microphone?
Enough to survive this round. Next up for the Bonsai boys, it's a 64 Oldsmobile Vista Cruiser, 55 grams. A nice smash right there, and that is going to take down the other Wolverine, flipping
No,
it
I'm
over.
not. I'm saying I'll get it after I stream.
Great recovery right there, almost off the track, just about safe.
I mean, I don't even know where it is. I can't even confirm with you that it's downstairs.
Proving itself a worthy addition to this team, and maybe
I'm the one who told you that I took it earlier.
Big shots are going with the Lean Machine. Now, this vehicle doesn't look particularly stable.
Why don't you just...
See how it does. Lean Machine, kind of a slow
Yeah, what you're telling me is you want your microphone and you don't care that I'm streaming.
It goes underneath. Now, that could actually be a very good thing to have happen. That was a nice bump and move by the Lean Machine to get underneath the Oldsmobile. Next hit could end up with that Oldsmobile getting flipped over because of Lean Machine. Now up for the red shells, it's Peach.
Yeah, I talked to you.
Peach, it's Lean Machine, and yep, pretty much what I said was going to happen. Oldsmobile goes up in the air.
I've got to go get Kira's microphone from downstairs, even though it's literally midnight and she's going to make me walk into somebody else's house to go get a microphone.
And I think Lean Machine is on to the next car in line.
I don't think anybody should go do it. It's their house and it's midnight in the middle of the night. I don't think anybody should go down there and go get anything.
I believe on the side of the car.
I don't know. I have no idea.
Bad hit. Knocks Peach around a little bit, but then
be safe. Don't get shot. It's Mississippi. I can't not get shot. I'm an American.
It's hard to say.
You smell like liquor.
I'm going to let the officials make that call. But bad hit for the Atlantic because it is sideways on the track unless it gets a lucky bounce when it gets hit by Crunch, who's coming down next for Sugar Crash. Crunch makes a disastrous hit. Cars are flying everywhere. The Atlantic goes over and upside down. Cliprod. Ooh, man, it is close right now for Cliprod. And look at this.
No, you don't.
Crunch
don't listen to her.
Almost sideways. That was such a devastating hit. Crunch almost destroyed himself. And now I'm noticing Lean Machine also appears to be sideways here. So that was
Get out of here, Des. Get out of here. Get off my stream. Get out of here. I don't want you on this.
Bonsai boys now.
Get out of here. I don't want you in here. Get out of here. I'm gonna fucking...
Boys, I don't know what just happened there,
I'm gonna start throwing stuff at you if you don't get out of here.
It slowed down. It doesn't look like that car fits on the track.
The death of the stream. You're right.
For this team. I think they just chose it based on looks more than they did function. And that thing, it barely made it down the track, and it just sort of nudges Crunch. And let's see if the big shots can do something here with XT3.
I don't know what she came in here for. I have no idea what it was she actually came in here for. She like I don't know what that was all about. Like she doesn't know where her microphone is. I think maybe I took it a long time ago downstairs to record something, but downstairs isn't our house. Other people like rent from us downstairs. They rent the basement out, and it's midnight. I can't like go down there and get it. I don't know where she thought that I like wanted her to go down there and get it. Like I would ask. That would be like I left it at the neighbor's house. You need to go over to the neighbor's house and get it at midnight.
Look at this. Crunch made a recovery on that hit.
I don't know. I have no idea.
Down the 69 Nissan Skyline van.
She's been drinking. She probably just wasn't thinking about it.
I don't think eliminates Bowser. Gets some movement there, though. Actually looks like maybe Bonsai Boys got righted because of that. So, unfortunately, a bad result there. Car just recovering instead of getting eliminated from that hit. Next up for the crash, it's Chunky.
Ooh, Chunky? Is that a big boy?
Slam from Chunky,
what?
But it's a solid line of cars right now. Bowser gets tossed up in the air a little bit, and now Bonsai Boys is again.
What do you mean you didn't know what time it was? You have a clock all around you.
It's changing on every hit, but the Skyline van and Chunky are nicely locked into the track right now. Surf's Up is up for the Bonsai Boys. This is a wild vehicle, and it's also the final car.
The stream has been hijacked by my wife.
A nice hit on the back of
the stream, though, she's here and she's here to stay. I'm talking about her, and she's my wife, and she's here. She has hijacked the stream. She's here to stay, everybody. Why not pull up a chair, Des? Pull up a chair. You're on the stream now. You came in. You started hanging out. You're on the stream now. I'd never do that. I don't know what you're talking about.
Taking a look at the aftermath, 9 cars were eliminated out of 25. 3 for the Bonsai Boys and 3 for Wolvie's Wreckers. 1 each for the other 3 teams. I gotta say, I don't know how the Red Shells pulled that off. I thought they had a lot more eliminations, but they came out of that looking good. But then again, so did the Big Shots and Sugar Crash. Hershey's Miniature taking its place on the track. The first 2 qualifiers.
Can you do the new Pinocchio
with
Pauly Shore?
And in this qualifier, not so much.
I didn't know there was a new Pinocchio.
Teams that are looking real good.
Is that a thing?
Certainly not out of it. Here comes Peach now for the Red Shells. Peach goes tumbling off the back of the Hershey's Miniatures and makes a pretty sweet recovery. I get the feeling that these Red Shell vehicles are going to be hard to eliminate. XT3, another car that had a close call in that first round, but managed to survive it. And a nice hit there, but it can't quite get Hershey's Miniatures off the track. And XT3 turns right over, twists upside down. Still could cause
How much do you think that Peach Hot Wheel costs? I bet that thing's like $30.
Here comes the Plymouth Satellite, had a solid first round. Let's see what it can do this time. Plymouth Satellite does an amazing smash, double hit, pushes XT3 up.
I'm Googling it now. The Pauly Shore Pinocchio.
Off the track, a little bit in danger right there, but that was a quality smack from that Plymouth Satellite. Time to see if Surf's Up can catch a wave for the Bonsai Boys. They need something here. They are down to 2 cars. Surfs Up goes
Pinocchio,
right
a
off
true
the
story.
Back of the Plymouth Satellite, and he wipes right out. Goes over the falls and face plants.
What? Is this already out?
For Surfs Up this time,
it's got a
4.6.
Came out in February. In Russia?
About to hit the track for Sugar Crash, Baby Ruth. Baby Ruth
so wait, is it a
XT3, and look at that, a little combination hit, and XT3 is back right side.
So it's like a Russian animated movie.
Recovery by that vehicle. You never would have expected.
Have I reviewed any Metal Gear games yet? I did a video on the comparing the boss fight between for Vulcan Raven between Twin Snakes and the original. I was going to do more, but that video didn't really perform well, so I didn't make any more. Young Pinocchio runs away from his genius creator Geppetto, accompanied by the horse Tybalt, to see the world and joins the traveling circus run by hustler Moja Fako.
Definitely making up for his mess in the first round that he was lucky enough to
Vasily
survive.
Rovas. What has this man made?
Bullet Bill slams into XT3, and again, that car is flipped, and this time it's upside down behind the safety
Never
rail.
heard of any of this guy's stuff. I'll check it out, though. I don't see any reason why I can't.
XT3 on the same team as Bullet Bill, so Bullet
Send me
Bill
an
gotta be
email
a
with
little
like the name or
disappointed that he
something,
couldn't,
or just
keep
send me
his
a Discord
companion
message. You got me on
right side up.
Discord. Just
Now
send me
it's
like
time
a
for the
message
Nissan
of it on
Skyline
Discord so I
band
don't
for the
forget it.
Wreckers. Big hit there, and Bullet Bill is tossed overboard, flipping around, and it looks like he's gonna make it, and he can't quite do it, and he ends up upside down.
Metal Gear is my
A good
favorite
hit
series,
there. The
though,
Woolies
so I plan on
Wreckers,
doing
they
Metal
just have
Gear
these 2 cars
videos
left,
at
and
some
they are
point. It's
making
just
a
that I want to
great
find
show of
out
it here in
what
round
the
2.
channel's
Now
going to
Backdraft
be
is up for the Bonsai
before
boys.
I
Let's see if
start
he can make a
making
better
Metal Gear
showing than
content.
Surf's Up.
Like, I want my Metal Gear
And,
videos to
well,
be some of
not
my best
necessarily a
videos
bad
that I've ever
showing.
made,
Just a
you
lot of
know?
bouncing around,
And I don't want
going
them to just be
back
some
and forth
random
on the
videos that I
track,
don't
and it's
know
not a great
what I'm
place to
doing
be
with.
in way
I
down
want to have
there,
like
but
an
Backdraft seems
idea
like a
or a
fairly agile
template
car, so
or
it'll be interesting
at
to
least
see
another
how it
video to look
survives
at and
in
go,
that
yeah, I want to
position.
make it kind of
And
like
Backdraft
that,
is gonna
but
take a
like
big
different.
hit from Chunky now, 80 grams for Sugar Crash. And it was a big hit, but somehow Backdraft takes it, goes up to the front, bounces around, and Chunky says, no, you're staying up here this time, keep going. And now we got 3 cars locked on the track, ready for action.
Metal Gear
A
Solid
classic
3 is my
line there
favorite
from
game ever,
Mario
so
as he
of course
takes
I've
to
got
the
to
track
do
for the
one
Red
at some
Shells.
point.
Bam! And Mario can't go anywhere. Just solidifies that line of cars. Mario stays on the track in a pretty perilous position. I get the feeling that Mario
sent the
took
trailer?
this position on
Okay.
the track just so he could hang out and chat with Peach. Well, whatever he's got to say to Peach, he better say it quick. Clip Rod is about to take a big shot. Ooh, Mario barely even notices that hit from Clip Rod. Makes a nice recovery there. Good balance. Doesn't even tip over because of that glider. Mario showing off for Peach right there. And the Red Shells are looking pretty good
Good
right
night,
now. Let's see if that line of cars
KZ.
can hold up under the onslaught.
Sorry,
of
I was
Crunch
yawning
for
in like
Sugar
the
Crash.
middle.
Big hit, but nobody's going anywhere. The line
Thank you, Zoot,
almost
for
buckled, but
subscribing.
Not quite, and Crunch locks it in on the track. Here
You
comes
crash
Yoshi for the
landed.
Red Shells. I keep waiting for him to use his tongue and try to eat one of the cars. Yoshi plows into the back of Crunch and hits his face on the back of that semi. Flips over
Pinocchio movie is a
upside
meme
down.
for the
That,
bad
looks
voice
like
acting.
what
Really?
Luigi did in round 1.
People call
but
Pinocchio
we know
a
what
twink.
happens then, so who knows? Maybe
But
Yoshi's
Pinocchio
got a
kind
chance
of is a
recovering,
twink,
but
though,
it's
right?
kind of an embarrassing hit right there for Yoshi.
Let's
Z-Rod's
see.
back for the
Let's,
big shots. That's a cool looking car.
Let's watch this trailer.
The Z-Rod
Hold on.
boinks Yoshi off the track, and Yoshi...
There you go. Now, what should we name you? Maybe Leonardo. No, he'd grow up to be a turtle who only cares about pizza. I don't believe my eyes. Your name will be Pinocchio.
Jesus Christ.
Father, when can I leave to be on my own? I've got the whole world to see.
You are too special, Pinocchio. The world is full of people who could harm you.
The timeless story.
Our last few shows barely had any audience. We just need to come up with a new act. Ooh, come on!
You thought you knew.
The coach is headed for the cliff. She's gonna fall.
Hold on!
Senorina, alley-oop. Left it.
Are you made of wood? You will become a star, my boy. Ladies and
Jesus
gentlemen,
Christ.
Pinocchio!
The editing, the audio editing is so bad.
It looks like our wooden Romeo is in love with Bella.
Did you seriously think that you and Bella...
That is a fairy. Her name is Lucilda. I'm sure she could turn you into a real boy.
Let's go, Tybalt. Great adventures the way.
Take the adventure.
I did want to see the world, but I realized she is the most beautiful thing the world has to offer.
Oh my
No
God.
strings attached.
Pinocchio is
That
not
is
just
some
a
of the
puppet, he's a miracle.
worst line reads. Is this like, this is the best they could get for like the trailer too?
Featuring the voices of Pauly Shore,
I'm made out of high-quality material.
John Heater,
I promise to look after him
Who?
at all times.
Who's John Heater?
and Tom Kenny.
I just
Tom
need
Kenny.
you, Pinocchio.
Pinocchio, you'll be a star
SpongeBob's in
someday,
this
no doubt.
movie? I didn't know this was a
don't need
SpongeBob
another
movie.
human performer. I need a talking puppet. We'll put on a show that won't soon forget.
Pinocchio, a true story.
Gotcha! You've only seen my good side, but now you'll see my bad side! Mamma mia! Brighten up.
Okay, yeah, I could see myself doing a video on that. That's ridiculous enough to where I could see myself doing a video on it.
Stays upside
It looks like
down.
fun.
That does
It looks like
not
I'd
look
hate
very
it.
promising for him right now, and that's actually going to be the end of round 2. So Yoshi is definitely out of this. Taking a look at the wreckage of
You met
round
David
2,
Hayter
we're
at a
gonna lose
con.
7
He was the nicest dude
additional
ever, I
vehicles,
bet.
almost as many as round 1. That was a pretty good round for
We
getting
did a
rid of
video
some
together, and it
vehicles,
cost me
and
all
the
of
good
my
news
money.
is,
I
though,
had my
for all
game
these
with me,
teams,
and I
they're
asked
all
me if
still
I
in this.
wanted
All
it signed,
5
but I
teams
told him I
still
didn't have any
cars
money, so he
in
took
the
it from
match.
me and signed
Taking
it
a look
anyways
at
and
the
said,
aftermath,
just cool
we've
like that.
got
Oh,
only
that's so
one left
sweet.
now for the Bonsai Boys, and look at this. All the other teams still have 2 in this match. Heading into round 3, and the Red Shells are going to be starting us off this round. They lost Luigi and Yoshi on that last run, as Mario knocks himself into place. Our running order in the upper left-hand corner, if you want to see the order of the teams are going down. After what seemed like an uneven start, this qualifier has turned into our most even qualifier so far. Any of these teams have a chance of making it out of this qualifier. Crunch is going to head down first for the Sugar Crash. Can Mario survive this hit?
I think I used to have that Crunch truck. I was a
And
big fan of
bam,
Crunch
Mario
bars
is
when I was a
knocked
kid.
off the track.
Do you guys like Crunch bars?
Crushing him, knocking the glider away, breaking it off the car, and Mario still making a recovery even without that glider. But man, that was a nasty hit from Crunch, and Mario will not get to reinstall that glider for the next round if he does indeed survive this round. Now up for the big shots, it's Clip Ride.
You said it cost all
Nice
your
hit
money, so I'm
there,
guessing
but
that the
a
video must have been
little bit of
pornographic.
Danger, Clip Rod curbside, that could be bad.
Did you
It's the Plymouth
have sex
Satellite
with David
coming down
Hayter?
for the wreckers, and we've seen the damage that this thing can do.
Did the clap of his ass
Nice
cheeks alert the
recovery there
guards?
by Clip Rod, bounces back and gets off the track, getting back to safety. Right now, nobody eliminated in this round. We've got a competition, folks. These cars are tough, and nobody wants to lose. Backdraft is the lone survivor for Bonsai Boys, so Backdraft has to be careful.
I should get
here
David on the
in
show.
this match. Good
David
hit
Hayter,
there.
come on the
Locks himself
show.
on the track. Nobody is moving. We've got a nice line of cars established. Peach is
David,
gonna
I'd
take
love to
the
have you
track
on.
next. This
Sweet
car's a little
baby boy.
unstable. Let's see if
Precious
it can lock it
gem
in or if
dropped
it
from
goes
the
off.
heavens.
And Peach gets curbside.
You were 15.
Manages to pry
My God, I didn't know that
Backdraft
David Hayter
off
was
the
such a
track
sexual
just
menace.
a little bit there at the very end. So now they're both curbside. That could weaken up that line of cars a little bit and cause some
Did I see
serious
Pro
trouble
Jared's
for
April
both of
Fool's
those
video?
vehicles.
Yeah, I did.
Especially since it's chunky, 80 grams. This should be a big hit. Bam! Peach
Hey, Aaron.
goes over and is done.
I guess I'm gonna have
Backdraft
to.
flips
I guess I'm gonna
and
have to
makes a
stop the
great
stream and go
recovery
get
over
Kira her
by
microphone.
Mario.
If she's
That is
literally
gonna make sure
contacting
that the
people to make
Bonsai
me go
Boys
downstairs
stay
and
in
go
this
get her
match for
microphone.
another round. And now here comes Z-Rod for the big shots. Z-Rod
It's like
smacks
12:30 at
solidly
night
the back of
anyways. I should
Chunky,
probably
and
go.
nobody's going anywhere. The Nissan Skyline van's coming down next, and this is a nice-sized car. It could cause some trouble. No, that line of cars is too solid. The van just takes its place in the line, and nobody's moving yet again. And that is already the end of round 3. It looks like only one vehicle was eliminated. It was Peach. And that is going to take the Red Shells down one vehicle, but all these
Wait, why
teams
can't she
are
voice
still
chat
in
with you?
this
Why wouldn't she
match.
just use her
So
cell phone?
Mario's not going to have his glider
I'm
on this next
confused.
run.
Couldn't she
Right
just
now,
use
the
her
Red
cell
Shells and
phone?
the Bonsai Boys the most in danger, but anything can happen when this few cars still remain on the track. Here we go for round 4. The Z-Rod is going to start us out for the big shot.
I don't know. That's what I'd do if I didn't have my microphone and my microphone was downstairs and it was 12:30 at night and it was in Reed's room.
And zooms
I'd
place,
just
taking
use my
position
phone.
Up at the front. Z-Rod and the Clip Rod are agile vehicles.
Or
not
maybe
like
her
a
old
lot of the
microphone. I
heavy
think she's still
vehicles
got
that are on
like
the
an
track
old
right now.
microphone in there.
I think as long as they keep their wits about them, they have a good chance.
I don't know.
of
I don't know
making
what
it
she's
out of
got.
this
It's her stuff.
qualifier. Here comes the Skyline van taking its place. Oh man, nice hit there. And the Z-Rod is removed from the track, but it doesn't end up being a bad thing. Gonna be pretty hard to knock him upside down from that position, but it's not out of the realm of possibility. Chunky's coming down next with a big hit. Chunky slams into the back of that Skyline, but the Skyline refuses to go anywhere, just doesn't move. And that stubbornness is definitely doing a good thing.
I had that blue Hot Wheel in the front, the one that looked like a scorpion. I had that one as a kid. I remember that one.
Backdraft, a nice hit there, moves Evil Weevil off the track, but not much else going on. We got another line of cars locked into place. That seems to be happening a lot in this match. The challenge here for the competitors is to stay locked in this line of cars, because once you get booted out of that line, then things become a little bit more dangerous. Here comes Mario Sans
Oh, look
Glider.
at him. There's the boy, the golden boy himself.
Mario attacks the back of Backdraft, but can't do anything. Backdraft gets knocked off the track, but Mario spins around and goes sideways, pointing back in the other direction. He's definitely sideways, but he's still on the track, so he's going to take another hit, and he could get righted pretty easily from this position. Cliprod's going to give him a hit. Cliprod punts Mario off the track, and Mario bonks his head on the ground. But we all know that Mario likes to use his head as a weapon, and he makes a great recovery because of that bounce. And that is going to keep the red shells going. Here comes the Plymouth Satellite now for the wreckers. Big hit, but nobody's moving, although the whole line bounces back off the safety rail a little ways back down the track, and that could cause some things to loosen up before this round is over. Final vehicle for this round
Swing the arms from out and out.
Crunch does exactly that. It crunches the Plymouth Satellite up into the back of Cliprod, and agonizingly slowly he goes back over his head, upside down, and that's going to be our elimination for this round. And
I know, right?
We're going to have to go into
he's really talented.
Round,
like, honestly, he's truly talented.
All 5 teams are still in this match.
And you can tell he has like a lot of passion for it, and that's what I really like about it. I'm really into how
3 teams
like happy he seems to be doing this.
5 of these teams are tough, none of them wanting to go.
I think he explained, I've got to ask him about it in the interview more, but I think he said that like he did this with his brother as a kid or something. Like this was like something that they did for fun when they were little, and so it's just like nostalgic for him or something.
Slides into place up at the front of the track and gets ready to take a hit, and it's going to be from Crunch for the crash. Crunch, a nasty hit.
Why has Reed been sleeping since 5 p.m.? Because he works in a factory and he's an old man.
Flipping over, Evil Weevil upside down, but Cliprod not at all. Agile car, great move right there, and now Crunch in the middle of the track. Gotta say, I'm pretty impressed by how Sugar Crash has been doing in this match. Better showing than in their first qualifier, but they're not out of the woods yet. Here comes Backdraft for the Bonsai Boys. Solid hit there, and a lot of bouncing now. We've got cars spaced out all along the track. Crunch careens forward, bounces back, and Backdraft does indeed draft backwards. That could potentially be a vulnerable
Reed's
position
not old,
to be
he's
in
your age?
when he takes a hit from Mario.
Reed's
who's
like
coming down next for the red
9 years older than you. What are you talking about?
Mario careens off the track, off of Backdraft.
Reed's older than me.
Down. Look at that. Skids over on his head.
You run a Hot Wheels,
so
kid?
Close, so very close to
yeah, he's coming on the show tomorrow.
And surviving for another round, but he couldn't quite do it. And that
What'd you play with? Your dad's cock?
End the Red Shells' run at this qualifier. This team at first looked undefeatable, and now they are gone. These other vehicles have proven themselves to be a match. And here comes the Skyline. The Skyline plows into the back of Backdraft, and they all line up solidly on the track. If Backdraft gets eliminated, the
Reed's
Bonsai
6
Boys
years older than you?
out.
How old are you?
Z-Rod now for the big shots. Z-Rod can't get anything happening. That line of cars is too tight, and Z-Rod backs off a little bit down the track.
You're not
There's
25.
one car left to go down the track. Are we going to find another
Reed's 31.
elimination in this round, or will
He's 8
Mario
years
be
older
the
than
only
you.
one? Here comes Chunky. Chunky slams into the Z-Rod, and look at that.
What a smash,
What an amazing recovery. That car flips around 3 or 4 times, hits the crates, and lands it perfectly on the right-hand side. All that flipping around, and look at the grace with which Z-Rod recovers from that hit. And we are going to round 6, folks. Only Mario was eliminated in that round. Taking a look at the aftermath, red shells are out. Bonsai Boys and Wolvie's records are the most threatened right
Reed's
now.
birthday?
But Big Shots
It's
and
in
Sugar
June.
Crash could easily get eliminated. Anything can happen in the Junkyard Joust. Here comes the Z-Rod starting us off again in round 6. The first 2 qualifiers only
Reed
went
is a
2
cancer.
rounds
You
apiece,
knew
and
that.
now this qualifier is going 6. You just never know what you're going to get. There are some great cars on these teams, and they are tough to eliminate. Sugar Crash is going to opt to send down Chunky and try to take out the Z-Rod.
Ocean
Will it work?
toys. That's pretty
Chunky
cool,
pops
though. That would be
Z-Rod
like
up in
being
the
one of those
air
kids that
and
had like
does
the
it. A lot of
archaeological
flipping around,
set
just
or
like
whatever.
last round, but Z-Rod cannot make the recovery. Flips over, hits the track, and goes upside down. Just a menacing hit there from Chunky, and I did not expect that we were going to see the Z-Rod upside down. I am impressed by that hit.
You want to
from
see him
Chunky.
do
Backdraft
commentary
now.
on like a sandwich or something?
Backdraft smacks into the back of Chunky, and Chunky's not going
I'd watch that.
anywhere at all. We're
You
gonna
should do
get
that for an
line of
April
cars
Fool's
again,
video.
I suspect. Wolvie's Wreckers are pinning all their hopes on the Skyline van. Skyline van locks it into place on the track. There are 3 cars backed up. Are we going to see another elimination this round?
Don't ask him
Is
about the
another
Konami
team gonna
Kojima
get pushed
stuff.
Out of this qualifier
I don't see why I
and
wouldn't
end
do
it?
that, but
Big
of
Shot's
course
last hope right
he
here
would
is
vet all the
Cliprod.
questions that I would ask him before the
Big
interview.
hit from Cliprod
If he said,
and a
"Nah, I'm not gonna
bounce
answer that one," I would just be like,
backwards
"Yeah,
off the
all
back
right."
of the Skyline, and that's going to put the Cliprod in
And then
a
I'd just look at him and
vulnerable
say, "Well, what about the
position
other
back
ones?"
Down the track with nothing in front of it, could get easily
Or
thrown
I'd
off
email
the
him
track
back
if he
more
takes a good hit.
realistically.
And good hits are Crunch's specialty. Let's see what Crunch can do here. Crunch slams the
With
Cliprod,
high
that's
profile
2 cars
like
off the
interviews
track.
like that, you just
The
have to
Nissan Skyline
send them the
makes an
list of
amazing
questions beforehand.
recovery, and
If you come up with
oh
something
no,
like in the middle of the
Cliprod
interview and
does
it's like,
not.
"Oh, well, I
Turns
just want to ask about this
upside
because of my
down
own
off the
personal
back of backdraft,
interest,"
and that is
then
it.
you have
The
to like
Big
clarify
Shots,
that and
they
say
had
like,
2
"Oh,
cars
you know,
left.
you don't have to answer
This
this
is
question since it wasn't on the
unbelievable.
list."
Those
But
cars seemed unstoppable, and yet somehow this round they've
and then
both
sometimes they'll
been
be like, "No, I don't want
eliminated.
you. I don't want to answer that," and you just have to be like,
Unexpected turn of
"Okay."
events for a team we thought was
all
gonna
right,
make
next
it out of this
question.
qualifier, and you've got your 3 finalists after an unexpected and chaotic round. 6 rounds. Congrats to the Crash the Wreckers
Well, I had
and
that
the
book,
boys.
the one
They're
that
moving
showed all
on
the
to main
dolphins'
event.
organs and the sharks.
And
I had
there you
that.
have it, folks.
I had one
Your
for dinosaurs
survivors,
too.
All 4 of them for this particular qualifier, and what a crazy matchup it was.
They put
A lot
mayo
of
on a
twists and
salami
turns in
sandwich.
this one. I
The
have no idea who's
bastards.
going to come out on top. So far, there are 9 teams qualified for the main event. We've got plenty more teams to come. Should be a wild ride. Don't forget to like the video or leave a comment if you get a chance. Thanks for watching, everybody. If you want to become a patron and sponsor a car or even a team, go to patreon.com/junkyardjoust. I'll see you next time.
Do it, everybody. Go
on
to
the Joust.
patreon.com/junkyardjoust and give Mr. Yonda some money for his passion project that he's got here. He's doing great stuff. It's 12:30. I think I'm gonna call it a night. We've had some fun here. We've had some talks about microphones. We've had some discussions about David. We've even gone over the intricacies of asking questions during interviews that weren't vetted beforehand by the person that you're interviewing and how upset they get when you do that. It's just one of those things. I think I'm getting sleepy now, though. I think I'd like to just get some rest. Tomorrow's Sunday, the last day that I've got before I have to go back to work. Of course, just like everybody, I'm not looking forward to go back to work. I'll go back to work at some point, but God knows I don't want it to be Monday. Anyways, let's all get cozy now. Let's tuck ourselves into sleep. I'm gonna tuck yourself under the blanket, and I'll read you a bedtime story. We'll do that for like the end of the stream. Hold on, let me pull up a bedtime story, and I'll read it to you in a dumb little voice. Here we go. Oh, I like this one. The caterpillar that loves shoes. I have no idea what this one's about, but fuck yeah, dude. I'm all about a caterpillar who loves shoes. There's nothing gonna stop me. Alright. Oh, I think we can even put this up on, like, the screen. Hold on. This looks like this might be a picture book. Yeah, it is. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna put this up on the screen, and I'll read it to you on the screen. You'll be able to see a little bit of it. See. It's gonna be kind of hard to. Oop. So it has to be full screened, or it won't work. Okay. Hold on. Wany's gonna look really silly if I'm reading the whole thing though, because I gotta look up to do it. So let me turn Wany off, and I'll turn on some smooth jazz, and then I'll read you a bedtime story. How about that? Hold on. Okay. Kainan the caterpillar didn't have 6 legs like all the other caterpillars. He had 100 legs, and Kainan loved shoes. How's this going? Does that sound alright? It's a foot fetish story. You know it is. Definitely a foot fetish story. This is about a caterpillar. He's got many feet upon which to fetishize. He loved red ones and blue ones, high ones and practical ones. And luckily, having 100 feet, he could wear all of them at once. There were just 2 little tiny problems. Firstly, some of his legs were so far away, I mean really far. He couldn't even see the end of his body with all those legs, let alone know where to put his feet. The second and related problem was because some of the feet were so far away, he had never learned to tie his shoes. And even if he knew how to tie his shoes, practical realities being what they were, being one little caterpillar, being one little caterpillar, tying all your own shoes would always take a very, very, very long time. So what did he rely on to tie up all those shoes that needed tying? Did I just get a text message? I just got a text message that said, breaking news alert, Dr. Oz, thirstflat.com. Based. Okay. So what did he rely on to tie up all those shoes that needed tying? His friends. Friends who knew more about how to tie shoelaces, and friends who knew how to help. Do you know how to tie your shoelaces? 1. You make a loop with one side. 2. The other lace goes towards you, around the garden, and then it wants to come in the gate. 3. Head first, pull on the head, and 4. Abracadabra, another loop. 5. Just pull it all tight and you're done. Kainan watched what I just showed you, and now he could see how to tie his shoes. But it was still going to take a very long time, because a lot of the shoes he loved had laces. Not all of them, but a lot of them. Luckily, Kainan had so many friends who could help him do so many things that he didn't find easy. The butterflies, for example, could help push the little ballet slippers on his feet far away. Okay? The butterflies could flutter their wings very fast and push them onto his feet with just the air. His ant friends got together and put the sneakers on. They were also very diligent about lacing them up. Teamwork all the way. His spider friends were fantastic at tying. They had 8 arms, so they could tie 4 long knee high boots at once. When Spidey's got on the job, those shoes went on quick. Little Mouse was quick and careful. She could slide his heels on or nose his toes into flip-flops. When all of Kainan's friends came together, it took only a jiffy to get his shoes on. Now, it was time to visit Cousin Worm in his cozy hole. Except when he got there, a sign on the door read, "Welcome to my house. Please take your shoes off at the door." Uh-oh. The end. How was that, everybody? Did you enjoy your sleepy nighttime story? What did you think of Kainan and all of his shoes? Did it end up actually being a foot fetish story? Do you think maybe it was about something else? I think it was about a little caterpillar man. He liked his shoes. I've got reading comprehension. Some of you might not have that so much. It was quite lovely. Well, I do appreciate it. I hope you all have a good night and an easy time going to sleep tonight. Rest those weary eyes, little travelers, and sometime again soon, I'll read you another story.